Stopped counting the days lost in the rhythm.
If you're a trucker and you want the most badass rig on the road, this is it, Musk said, noting that it was 5 years since Tesla had announced it was developing the all-electric truck. Still, industry experts remain skeptical that battery electric trucks can take the strain of hauling hefty loads for hundreds of miles economically. Tesla said it would begin using the Semi to ship parts to its plant in Fremont, California. In 2017, Tesla had said the 300-mile range version of the Semi would cost $150,000, and the 500-mile version $180,000. But Tesla's passenger electric vehicle prices have increased sharply since then. Robin Denholm, chair of Tesla, recently said the automaker might produce 100 Semis this year. Musk has said Tesla would aim to produce 50,000 of the trucks in 2024. PepsiCo, which completed its first cargo run with the Tesla truck to deliver snacks for those attending the Nevada launch event, had ordered 100 trucks in 2017. Brewer Anheuser-Busch, United Parcel Service Inc. and Walmart Inc. were among other companies that had reserved the Semi. Tesla did not provide details on orders or deliveries to customers, nor an estimate on what the total cost of ownership for future buyers would be compared to diesel alternatives. Not impressive. Musk said the Semi has been doing test runs between Tesla's Sparks, Nevada factory and its plant in Fremont, California. Tesla said it had completed a 500-mile drive on a single charge, with the Semi and cargo weighing in at 81,000 pounds in total. Tesla did not disclose the weight of an unloaded Semi, one key specification analysts had hoped to learn and an important consideration for the efficiency of electric trucks. Musk has spoken in the past about the prospect of fully autonomous trucks. Tesla did not provide details on how Tesla's driver assistance systems would function in the Semi it unveiled on Thursday or future versions. The Semi delivery presentation ended without Musk taking questions, as he often does at Tesla events. Not very impressive. Moving a cargo of chips cannot in any way be said to be definitive proof of concept, said Oliver Dixon, senior analyst at consultancy Guidehouse. Tesla had initially set a production target for 2019 for the Semi, which was first unveiled in 2017. In the years since, rivals have begun to sell battery-powered trucks of their own. Daimler's Freightliner, Volvo, startup Nikola and Renault are among Tesla's competitors in developing alternatives to combustion engine trucks. Walmart, for instance, has said it has been testing Freightliner's eCascadia and Nikola's Tre BEV trucks in California. Like a cheetah, the Semi is capable of charging at 1 megawatt and has liquid cooling technology in the charging cable in an updated version of Tesla's supercharger that will be made available to the Cybertruck, Musk said. The Cybertruck is scheduled to go into production in 2023. Trucks in Semi's category represent just 1% of U.S. vehicle sales but 20% of overall vehicle emissions, Tesla said. Tesla said other, future vehicles would use powertrain technology developed for the Semi without providing details. The Semi uses 3 electric motors developed for Tesla's performance version of its Model S, with only one of them engaged at highway speed and 2 in reserve for when the truck needs to accelerate, a feature that makes the truck more energy efficient, Musk said. This thing has crazy power relative to a diesel truck, Musk said. Basically it's like an elephant moving like a cheetah. In a slide displayed as part of Musk's presentation, Tesla showed an image of a future robotaxi in development with a mock-up of the future car covered under a tarp. The presentation took place after Tesla shares closed at $194.70. The stock has fallen about 45% so far this year, losing about $500 billion in market capitalization, down to about $615 billion.
Kremlin says Putin open to talks. Zelensky aide says up to 13,000 Ukrainian soldiers killed in war. Between 10,000 and 13,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed in the war with Russia so far, according to a reported estimate from Ukrainian presidential aide Mikhailo Podolyak. It is thought to be the first estimated death toll of Ukrainian armed forces by a top official since Ukraine's military chief said in late August that close to 9,000 soldiers had died. Meanwhile, Ukraine's regional heads said in an update that Russian forces launched a missile attack on an infrastructure facility in the southeastern city of Zaporizhia. Separately, almost 40 shells were said to have been fired in Ukraine's eastern Dnipro region overnight. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov reportedly said Russian President Vladimir Putin remains open to talks over a possible settlement deal. That comes shortly after U.S. President Joe Biden said he would be prepared to meet Putin if he was looking for a way to end the war. Kremlin says Putin open to talks on Ukraine war. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Russian President Vladimir Putin would be open to talks on a possible settlement to the war in Ukraine. His comments to reporters came shortly after U.S. President Joe Biden said he would be prepared to meet with Putin if the Russian leader was prepared to end the war. Finnish Prime Minister warns Russia would not be the only one to feel empowered by Ukraine victory. Finland's Prime Minister Sanna Marin warned Russia would not be the only one to feel empowered if the Kremlin wins its war in Ukraine. Speaking on a visit to Australia, Marin said China has an important role to play in bringing the war to an end, urged Europe to do more to strengthen its defensive capabilities, and said the region would not be strong enough to cope without the support of key allies. We should make sure that we are stronger. And now I must be very honest, brutally honest with you, Europe isn't strong enough right now, Marin said. We would be in trouble without the United States in the war in Ukraine. The United States have given a lot of weapons, a lot of financial aid, a lot of humanitarian aid to Ukraine, and Europe isn't strong enough yet, she added. Ukraine presidential aide says up to 13,000 military personnel killed in war. Ukraine's forces have lost somewhere between 10,000 and 13,000 soldiers so far in the war against Russia, according to a Reuters report, which cited comments from Ukrainian presidential aide Mikhailo Podolyak. It is thought to be the first estimated death toll of Ukrainian military personnel by a top official since Ukraine's military chief said close to 9,000 soldiers had died as of late August. Member states will have to decide on EU proposal to create a court to investigate Russian war crimes, UN says. The UN said it will let member states decide whether to set up a court to investigate possible Russian war crimes in Ukraine. Earlier in the day, the European Union proposed to set up a UN-backed court to investigate possible war crimes in Ukraine. The EU also proposed using frozen Russian assets to rebuild Ukraine. The decision to establish a tribunal, with or without the involvement of the United Nations, is a decision that will rest with the member states, UN spokesman Stefan Dujarric said during a daily press briefing. The Secretary General is definitely aware that there have been discussions in various forums concerning the possibility of the establishment of an international tribunal in regards to what's going on in Ukraine and in particular, on the issue of the crime of aggression, he said, adding that any further comment on the matter would only be speculation. Ukrainian defense official speaks next to Dud warhead. Deputy Minister of Defense of Ukraine Hanna Maliar speaks standing next to a Dud warhead imitating a nuclear part of a Kh-55SM strategic cruise missile, which was used by Russian troops during a recent missile attacks on Ukraine. The Kh-55SM strategic cruise missile can carry nuclear warheads, speakers at the briefing said. Biden, Macron vowed to continue to support Ukraine against Russia. U.S. President Joe Biden and French President Emmanuel Macron in a joint press conference at the White House reaffirmed their commitment to supporting Ukraine against Russia. Having the U.S. strongly support the Ukrainians at this time is very important, not just for the Ukrainians, but for the Europeans, who we are. This is why we do thank you for the solidarity, for the stability of our world today, Macron said. Because if we consider that we can abandon the country and abandon the full respect of its principles, it means there is no possible stability in this world. Macron is visiting the U.S. as a visitor for Biden's first state dinner as president. Biden said he does not intend to speak to Russian President Vladimir Putin anytime soon. But he would be willing to if Putin is genuinely interested in ending the war. I'm prepared to speak with Mr. Putin if in fact there's an interest in him deciding he's looking for a way to end the war. He hasn't done that yet, Biden said. In the meantime, I think it's absolutely critical, what Emmanuel said. We must support the Ukrainian people, Biden said. The idea that Putin is ever going to defeat Ukraine is beyond comprehension.